What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, depending what time zone you're in, it's Thursday night, but for some of y'all, it's Friday! The day that we've all been waiting for. Well, some of you have been waiting for. All right, really excited today. I have a great show set up for you guys today, as always, but I'm excited because I have like 3 or 4 stories in our new segment, Behind the Feed and Off the Record. We have been looking at the comment section and we can tell that you guys are liking it, so we brought more to that section. Today, we have an exclusive. An insider gives us an update on Diddy's new criminal charges. Also, LAPD has seized surveillance footage from David's rental home, and one of the biggest streamers / YouTubers in the world posted "Pray for Nicki Minaj" on Twitter and says that he has reasons to believe that Nicki Minaj is in danger from Roc Nation. I don't know if you guys have been watching the past 2 days, but I told you so. In lead stories, we're going to talk about JD Vance calling a racist group of adults whose text messages leaked just kids on the internet. And in quick news, we're going to talk Angel Reese, What's Up, an AI artist, Eddie Winslow, Young Miami versus Tyla, Mitch McConnell, Nas, Lil Nas X, Laila Ali, Claressa Shields, and Karoline Leavitt. As always, we're going to close out the show with comments of the day, social discussion of the day, and question of the day. Did I say question of the day? I always mix this part up. Question of the day, comments of the day, social discussion of the day. I think that's what I forgot. Anyways, y'all know what time it is. I'm excited because it's Friday, right? Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, your devices up. For some of y'all, it's Friday. Let's go. All right, our first behind the scenes off the record story, TOL exclusive update on Diddy's new criminal charges. Okay, episode 590, if I'm not mistaken, that's Tuesday or Wednesday's episode. We gave you guys a new potential criminal charges and civil charges against Diddy. I'm going to bring that back to you, and then I'm going to let you know what an insider has told me exclusively, okay? Celebrity publicist Jonathan Hay alleges that Diddy did something in front of him and forced him to perform some sex acts during 2 separate encounters. Now, I'll read over quickly. There's a lot of words that I can't say here, but you guys will get the gist. Publicist Jonathan Hay has accused Diddy of essaying him. During an interview with Real Life Productions, Hay claims the first incident happened after he refused to do some mouth sex acts on Diddy. He alleged that Combs then did something on an old piece of clothing and then threw it at him, okay? Released on it and then threw it at him. May then says in another incident at Diddy's house with B.I.G.'s son, C.J. Wallace, and producer Willie Mack, Diddy took him to his home and then blindfolded him and put him in a room. He alleges that Combs entered the room and had him do some things to him, again, sex with the lip area on his face, okay? Hayes says that he plans to pursue both civil and criminal charges. Diddy's team has yet to respond to these claims. Okay, so for those who didn't see episode 590, that was the story. Now, what I highlighted in that story was not so much the civil side of it. It's still important, but I highlighted the criminal side of that. And to me, that was a huge deal. Diddy has been in jail 14, 15 months now. We all know that he's been convicted 4 years and 2 months or 4 years and 3 months, if I'm not mistaken, just a couple of weeks ago. Now, I'm going to go directly now to the insider's response to this. And then I'm also going to let you know why, even though that we have this insider information, there still could be some potential new charges. Okay. So this is from an unknown source, not putting anything out there, protecting the sources. They say this is not new criminal charges. It's a civil case, and Jonathan had to provide his name and not file under John Doe. Diddy's legal team is not responding because this is BS. Now, what I said in episode 590 was, hey, I find it weird that Diddy's team is not responding. And because through every single case, criminally or civilly, anytime it comes out, Diddy's team responds in 10 minutes throughout the past year and a half, okay? Including all the way from Cassie till Tony Busby. And because of the rumors circulating around how horrible the sentencing went, I told you guys even Harvey from TMZ and a bunch of people had said that there was a lot of mistakes made. I even highlighted the huge mistakes that I feel Xavier Donaldson, the black male lawyer, made. There's been some rumblings that the team is not happy with each other, and there's some like internal issues going on with the defense team with Diddy. So I said maybe that could be the reason why, allegedly. So this person on the inside has said they are not responding because this is a BS claim. Now, are the other civil suits not BS? Because they've alluded to the fact that the other civil suits are BS, but if this one is BS, why not respond? So it still leads me to believe that there's something internally not going right, okay? Also to note, this is an old filing. I thought this was important. This is just an update to use his name. No one in Diddy's camp knows who this guy is. So nobody in Diddy's camp knows who this is, but does Diddy know who this is? You know, if we go back to the article, it says that celebrity publicist Jonathan Hay. So, you know, he's a celebrity publicist, meaning that people do know him. Did he work for Diddy? Did he work with somebody? Does he have something to do with B.I.G.'s son? Who knows? But I'm going to go back now to and by the way, thank you very much for that exclusive. Really appreciate it. And important to note that, actually, let me stop. This is behind the feed, off the record. I want to go back to the criminal charges for a second. In court, Jane Doe said that Diddy put hands on her 2024. Remember, that was even part of what the judge used as acquitted conduct to sentence Diddy. The judge had said, hey, when Jane Doe was testifying, she said there was one night where you and her were going back and forth. You put hands on her, chased her through a bunch of rooms, kicked a lot of doors down, etc. Now, we all know the Cassie tape that happened in 2016, which I even say that they should release the statute of limitation or lift the statute of limitation and charge him for that, but they can't. But Jane Doe's testimony is from 2024, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's June, because he was under investigation at that time. And there were rumblings at that time that maybe the state might file charges against Diddy. So that's why when this story came out, I made some calls to find out what's going on, because I knew that let me be careful. I have an assumption that the government is not done with Diddy. I know the federal government is done, but that doesn't mean that there can't be state charges. That's what I'm trying to say to you guys. So the fact that Jane Doe's testimony was used against Diddy in his sentencing, I'm not going to be surprised if we start seeing at some point the state of California saying they want to press DV charges against Diddy. Now, they would have to have Jane Doe collaborate with with the state, kind of like how Cassie worked with the feds. Now, Diddy is still paying for Jane's rent. Jane was not super happy about being on the stand. There were a couple of days where she had some confrontations with both the prosecution and Tenny Garagos. They had to, take 10-minute breaks and like, all right, court is adjourned for the day. Let's have people cool off. So not too sure if Diddy is still paying Jane's rent and what's going on with that. So I'll circle back now to Jonathan. The fact that he was trying to file this under John Doe, then they made him refile with his name. Could that be a beginning of charges being laid? Again, according to the insider, who I definitely trust their information, says no. But that does not mean that there still cannot be charges from Jane. So that is what we have now for Diddy when it comes to new charges. I also want to give you guys some information that's been out there that Diddy must submit to searches, have no contact with victims, and participate in outgoing treatment programs for DRUGs and DV following his 50-month sentence. So this is, a lot of people are kind of like mixed up with this. I just want to clarify. These things that I'm about to read to you, this is going to be after he's done his 4 years, time served, let's say 2.5 years or 3 years or whatever. After he gets out, he's on probation for 5 years. During the 5 years, Diddy will have to face a standard condition during his 5 years supervised release. According to court documents filed October the 15th, this includes mandatory participation in outgoing treatment programs for DRUG abuse and mental health issues. Diddy will have to also enroll in DV programs. He will not be able to have access to GUNs. And he will also not be able to have any contact with the victims, which is normal. As reported, Diddy will be giving an ultimatum, not an ultimatum. Actually, let me just find another list here. I had a better list. I just want to get the exact details. Here we go. This is better. So 5 years supervised release, subject to searches. That's what's important. So at any time after he does his time for the next 5 years, he could be subject to search at any time. No contact with victims. Must attend outpatient treatment programs for DRUG and mental health. Required to take prescribed medication unless the health provider instructs him otherwise. DV programs, and not owning, possessing, or having access to any GUNs of any case, of any kind. So that, just wanted to clear that up. That is after he is out. So it's really kind of really like he got, 10 years, 3 or 4 years inside and 6 years where the government could pop out at any time. So Diddy is going to have to face the government for the next 9 years. Just wanted to clear that up. That is it with Diddy. I will follow close and keep you guys as much up to date as I can. Just know that there is some potential new charges looming because Jane Doe still falls under the statute of limitation. I think there's like 3 more years, which I think that's why Diddy's probably still paying her rent and trying to keep her happy because, And just to add also to, somebody had reminded me to tell you guys this. You see like how Luigi Mangione, he's facing state and federal crimes. Just because Diddy was charged with the feds doesn't mean the state can't come after him for another crime, even if he is convicted. It happens all the time. And y'all know that the government is really out after Diddy. So that's all I'm going to say for now. Let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to our second behind the feed story. The Los Angeles Police Department has seized surveillance footage for David's rental home. All right, the ongoing, I don't even know if we should call it investigation, but like mystery, unaliving mystery of David and Celeste has a little bit of progress, if you might say. Surveillance footage from David's Hollywood Hills rental home is now in the hands of the Los Angeles Police Department. The LAPD seized surveillance footage at the rental house last month while executing a search warrant in an ongoing investigation in the unaliving of Celeste, who was found in David's Tesla, the trunk. The homeowner, Madden, said the external cameras on the property would show anybody who went in or out of the house and could provide insight into Celeste's whereabouts before her unaliving. Maiden said he hasn't seen the footage himself, who's the house owner, by the way. He hasn't seen the house footage himself in order to protect the privacy of his renters. He also claimed that the LAPD, listen to this, has not responded to his request for a copy of the warrant or a detailed list of what was taken during the search. Now, I'm going to tread lightly on this one, even though that we're behind the feed and off the record. I have told you guys that since I've been in contact, since I was at the Diddy trial, I have some people that I know at TMZ that I can reach out to for some information. And every time that I reach out to them, they tell me that this is, and Harvey even said this, I think like a couple of days ago, that the LAPD is not giving out information like how they normally would, especially to TMZ. Like the LAPD and TMZ are literally like in cahoots with each other. Like they anytime anything's going anywhere, you guys, y'all know how it is. If you follow entertainment media, like there's always surveillance. Even with Tyler Robinson, anything that comes out, you see the TMZ and it's out on social media first, right? They are locked in. And Harvey even said a couple of days ago that in the past 20 years that TMZ has been around, this is the least access they've ever got from the LAPD when it comes to this trial. Now, if you take that into account, you take the homeowner where David and his manager were renting, they are saying that the LAPD is not giving them information on the stuff that they seized. And then thirdly, there's the fact that David is not what do you call it again? David is not a suspect. I'm pretty sure they questioned him, but they have said he's not a suspect. And the LAPD says they're currently investigating, and I don't know really what's going on. We got the coroner's report saying we don't know how she got unalived. We have to wait for the toxicology report. I bring you up those four facts to ask you guys to think about something. Now, when Charlotte Kirk was unalived, it was national news, and the person was caught in 33 hours. Now, I'm not saying that Celeste is on the level of Charlie Kirk, and I know Charlie Kirk was political and he was tied in with Trump and JD Vance and all that. I get it. But I bring that analogy to show you that when law enforcement wants to solve something, they solve it. They have enough resources and enough money that they could solve any crime they want to solve. So when you see a crime like this that is unsolved, and then the LAPD just keeps saying, sorry, we can't give you information on this. Sorry, we don't know this. We don't know what's going on. Nobody's really a suspect. Like nobody. You know what I mean? Like nobody. You have to know that there's something going on behind the scenes. LAPD knows what's up. I've gotten some hints of them being protective of what they know for a very, very valid reason. And I hope that somebody puts it out soon, because I feel like if you guys remember 2 or 3 weeks ago, or even to 2 weeks ago, there was a story like every day about this. Like it was like the biggest story around social media. Maybe not nationally on those on like legacy media, but in our world here, on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, all of these platforms, new media, it was the huge talk, right? And it's kind of quieted down now, and I think they're doing it for a reason. I'm going to leave it to that, but y'all can put 2 and 2 together and figure out what I'm trying to say, right? So let me know what you think about the LAPD in the comment section below. All right, our third behind the feed story. DJ Academics clarifies his tweets urging prayers for Nicki Minaj following her recent tweets. Now, I'm not going to take too long on this because we've talked about it for the past 2 days, and I've made my case. I have let you guys know what's going on with Roc Nation and Jay-Z, just in a whole, in general, with Desiree Perez. And then yesterday, I gave you guys information on Nicki and her being wrapped into this. So if you guys want to check that out, it's episode 590 and 591. I just wanted to throw this in here because Academics, whether some of you like him or not, or some of you might not know who he is arguably, one of the biggest streamers in the world and one of the biggest YouTubers in the world when it comes to entertainment news, okay? He is involved and has been deposed in the Megan Thee Stallion case where she's suing a blogger who says that Tory Lanez was paying off media people to give out bad information for Megan Thee Stallion. So DJ Academics is looped up in that. He was deposed. Now, Megan Thee Stallion is signed to Roc Nation. So DJ Academics knows firsthand the tactics that Jay-Z, Roc Nation, and the executives use over there because he's going through it right now, feeling the brunt of Roc Nation because he is tied in with the Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. He's always been riding for Tory Lanez, saying, free Tory Lanez, free Tory Lanez. Megan has been lying. Now, he took the time out yesterday to be like, yo, pray for Nicki, because now she's saying all these things about Roc Nation. She doesn't know what she's in for. It's exactly what I was telling you guys yesterday. Here is a quick clip. Take a listen to Academics.
I want to be very clear about what I'm about to say. I did say pray for Nicki Minaj. Roc Nation is devious, and I'm going to leave it there. I want to be very clear and blunt. I'm not an ally of Nicki Minaj. I'm not a friend of Nicki Minaj, and I do not care that much about Nicki Minaj to that extent. I do want to sit here and I want to validate some of what Nicki Minaj is saying, because what Nicki Minaj is alluding to with Roc Nation, I have seen disturbing patterns and trends as well. They use bully tactics to silence people, and they do it through nefarious means, or they will throw a ton of money, and you never know. I'm telling y'all, everyone isn't saying these things because of nothing. I say pray for Nicki Minaj because I could name you 5 people who they've had a gripe or issue with either the business conduct or maybe their time or whatever with Roc Nation, that they have all thrown in the white flag. Damn near I'm ready to throw in the white flag.
Notice how he said there, I myself am thinking about throwing in the towel.
There's some people that's undoubtedly harassing affiliates and associates of mine. We believe they work for Roc Nation. I might not like Nicki Minaj, but I do want to say, let's relax on thinking that she's back crazy when she's speaking about Roc Nation. And pray for her, because I wouldn't be surprised, based on how hard she's going, if we see a few things happen. And I don't even want to speak these things into existence, but you have to be aware.
Now, Ak is literally like the male music industry version of Candace Owens, okay? Ish. But I'm just trying to say, like, he's the one who's always ready to deep dive, expose. Yo, I'm not afraid of Jay-Z. I'm not afraid of the powers that be. I'm not afraid. Y'all can't cancel me. I'll do what I want. I'll say what I want, etc. And for those of you who don't know who Academics is, the Drake and Kendrick beef ran through Academics. Like, there was diss tracks submitted directly to him that he released to the public, just showing you the level that he is. Like 20, 30 years from now, when we talk about Kendrick and Drake, his name will be mentioned right along there because the beef ran through him. Like, not like us. Kendrick put out Not Like Us 5 or 10 minutes after Academic said, yo, let's break down and go through Family Matters and give you what Drake is saying. He dropped Not Like Us because he knows that Ack was on stream, and it was like totally buried Family Matters and launched Not Like Us. Just letting you know the level, because I know everybody doesn't necessarily know about him. So the fact that somebody that his magnitude would say this about Nicki and then also say, yo, I too sometimes think of throwing in the white towel and surrendering, just lets you know the power of Jay-Z and Roc Nation. Like I said, he's somewhat like a Candace Owens that I have never heard, and I've been following Ack. I mean, he's 10, 15 years now. Never heard him say something like that. Just let you know the level of Jay-Z, Roc Nation, and Desiree Perez. So that is it. Let me know what you think about Nicki, Jay, Roc Nation. Comment section below. All right, our first lead story. JD Vance says the racist Republican group chat of adults were just kids and they should be ignored. What? Excuse me, sir. I'm going to run down as much as I can here because the remarks in here are wild. So there's a lot of things that I can't even say. But just to give you a quick recap, and I have a video to play and I'll read some of the text messages. It was a Republican group that was in a group chat and was saying some wild things. I'll get to it in a second. And JD Vance just yesterday came out and was like, yo, we cannot cancel and say all of these things from some kids. They might not have been saying proper things, but they're just kids. Like, let's just kid it. Sir. Peter Gonta, 31 years old. Joe Malagono, 35 years old. I'm going to stop reading the last names because, you know, guys, I'm bad with names. Anna, 28 years old. Alex Dreyer, 29 years old. William Hendricks, 24 years old. Luke, 24 years old. Samuel Douglas, 27 years old. Rachel Hope, 27 years old. Did you guys hear anybody that sounded like they were the age of a child to you? Now that you know their ages, I'll read like a few texts. Again, you can go to our Instagram page. I put this all up there. The Trend Out Loud Show on Instagram. Okay, let's see which ones I could reach now. Hold on. It's small. I gotta make it. Okay. Everybody that votes, no. Okay, I can't even read that. Somebody said, I love HITLER. We're giving, geez, I can't even read that. They love watermelon people. This is how bad it is, guys. Like I can't even read this. I'd go to the zoo if I wanted to watch monkeys play ball. I don't have to tell you what they're referring to. Can't read that. It's this bad that I can't read it out to you. There's stuff about Jewish people. There's stuff about Black people. There's stuff about unaliving people. Like, it is just horrible. And they're describing horrible ways on how they want to alive some people. Now that you know their ages, now that you know the things that I can't even tell you on YouTube, listen to what JD Vance said in response. Take a listen.
By focusing on what kids are saying in a group chat, grow up. I'm sorry. Focus on the real issues. Don't focus on what kids say in group chats. Like, I'm going to tell my kids, especially my boys, be careful with what you post. If you put something in a group chat, assume that some bag is going to leak it in an effort to try to cause you harm or cause your family harm. Especially young boys, they tell edgy, offensive jokes. Like, that's what kids do.
He goes on to say that, like, boys, like teenage boys and young adults, you know, they say sometimes offensive and stupid jokes. And, you know, he is a father to boys. He is going to remind them that, you know, it's a new day and age, things that you could say, things that you might say in private or in a private group chat. Somebody might take a screenshot and put it out. So be very careful in this day and age what you say. But he also is trying to point out the fact that, you know, at that age, you say stupid things and, you know, we shouldn't condemn them. I'm going to read the ages to you again. 31. Like, one of the guys is bald. Like, 31, 35. 35, sir. 28, 29, 24, 24, 27, and 27. Even 24, you're no longer a young adult. I'm sorry. Young adult is like 19, 20, 21 even, maybe, because you're an adult at 18. Sir, 35 is crazy. Leaders of the young Republican group across the country feared what might happen if their private Telegram chat ever leaked, but they kept typing anyways. In the messages, members use racial slurs called different ethnicities monkeys, watermelon people, joked about unaliving. They even discussed the R word and a bunch of other things. William Hendrick, vice president of Kansas City Young Republicans, replied using other bad things, Bobby Walker, etc., etc., etc. Other members, etc., etc., blah, blah, blah. Okay. Da, 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 da. These disturbing exchanges came from over 7 months of Telegram messages obtained by Politico, spanning 2,900 pages between young Republican leaders in New York, Kansas, Arizona, and Vermont. The chats exposed how some of the next generation of Republican activists speak behind closed doors, revealing a culture steeped in racism, anti-Semitism, and rhetoric, even amongst those already working within the government and party ranks. So bad. Now, the thing that I find disappointing, and this is really, really high level, because clearly these comments and this group chat, clearly it's horrible. But looking on a higher level, I am so disappointed in the past month or 2 months with everything that has come out about the Republican Party. Like, almost everything. Even when it comes to the raids, the ICE raids, tariffs, National Guard, and now something like this where JD Vance is like, these are just young people just doing things and not realizing how it could affect their life. I love to be an independent. I love coming on this show and being the voice that what I think bridges two political parties together. I used to love being able to come on this show and say, hey, I know some of you guys don't like what Donald Trump is doing, but this is the reason in which he's doing it. You might not like the way, but this is this, and this could work out for the better on this way. Explain one side. Likewise, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. Hey, I know on the right you might not think this, but this, or whatever. And you guys, some of you drag me for it. And my nickname is Trent Two Sides. While most of you love the fact that I am able to be unbiased and report a story, tell you guys about a story, and just give you my honest opinion. Same thing I did at the Diddy trial, or same thing I do whenever I'm talking about something in the entertainment industry, or even when I'm talking about Charlie Kirk. I say all of that to say, if in the past 2 months or a month and a half, I haven't been able to find a silver lining in something that the Trump party has been doing. And I'm just really, really disappointed in what I think was a pretty decent beginning when they first came into office in January. Over the past couple of weeks, I have played you clips from Joe Rogan that has said the same thing that I'm saying. Aiden Ross, who is the biggest streamer in the world. And these are all Republican, MAGA supporters. I don't know if we could classify Joe Rogan as a MAGA supporter, but I mean, he did say he voted for Trump. I don't know if he's MAGA, but definitely on that side. 3 or 4 other prominent people on the right side that not only are on the right side, but campaigned for Trump that are saying, what is he doing now? I can't get behind this. Joe Rogan said, can you have a heart? There's somebody that's been in this country for 20 years and you're taking them away from their children, you're taking them away from this and you're throwing them on the floor, et cetera, et cetera. Like, have a heart, man. Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is like the queen of MAGA. Like, you never saw her without a hat on. Make America great again. Trump was right about everything. You remember those hats? Like, it's just disappointing to see where the Republican Party is headed. And I'm not a Republican and I'm not a Democrat, but I feel that America works best when they're both separate parties are doing good and having good ideas. The analogy that I have shared a couple of times with you guys is an analogy from what somebody told me about the founding fathers of the reason why there's 4 years and then an election and another 4 years. And it's like moving a heavy object. You can't just push a heavy object, you got to walk it. So the US is like a big, huge fridge, and you have one side that pushes for 4 years, then another side you pushes for 4 years, and you push it. And then with that, you have one of the greatest countries ever created in the world. And I am just very disappointed in seeing the direction that Donald Trump and JD Vance is taking the Republican Party. And there's still 3 more years. However, I'll close with this. The midterm elections are coming up next year. And if Donald Trump and JD Vance and their team continue on this course, his last 2 years will be very, very different without the Senate and the House. That's all I'll say. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. All right, our first quick story. Angel Reese hits the streets in her angel wings. You see what we did right there? Angel Reese in her angel wings. Hey. All right. Y'all know that I'm a big, huge Angel Reese fan. Always a big supporter. Well, last night she hit the runway for Victoria's Secret and shut it down. Like, last night was all over my feed. Woke up this morning, all over my feed. Shout out to Angel Reese. Apparently she walked it twice and had 2 amazing looks. Somebody said she really said that she would be a basketball player that's a fashion girly, and she's doing just that. Versatile. Another person said she ate that first look. And it looked good AF doing it. They saved the best for last. Angel Reese was the star of the second walk. Angel Reese not only walked once, but twice and devoured both times. Angel Reese walked, slept, hooped, slept, and walked. OMG, Angel looked like she has been a model her whole life. Y'all let me know if you saw the clips online. Unless you're under a rock, you had to have seen it. Let me know what you think. Let me know how she did. If you ask me, she totally slayed. She did her thing like I knew she would. And lastly, to the haters that are like, nah, she focuses too much on this, she focuses too much on that. I say the same thing and I remind you all the time. The WNBA pays peanuts. Yes, her and Caitlin Clark and a few others are doing their best to change that. But until then, Angel has to do what she could do while she's hot to make the money that she can. Anything can happen to her at any time. And even if the WNBA paid, are paid equal to what the men pay, the whole point of being a superstar athlete is the money that you make off the court. Michael Jordan is a multi-billionaire. Do you know his entire career earnings are only $90 million a year, if I'm not mistaken, give or take? Whereas somebody like, I don't know, LeBron James is making $50 million this year. Jordan, the greatest basketball player to ever live, 90 in his entire career. Yes, it was in the 90s and 2000s, 20 years ago, but still, just giving you an analogy. Tiger Woods has said he doesn't even spend his career earnings. I think he donates some or does something like that. Serena Williams, like, this is what Angel Reese should be doing, and she should be applauded for it and not hated. And I think it's because she is a beautiful woman doing it why she is getting hated on. So that's one of the reasons why I extra support her every time and every chance I get. So shout out to Angel Reese. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, our second quick story. Thought this was interesting. WhatsApp set to replace phone numbers with usernames, just like Instagram handles. The feature is currently in testing, but once live, it could completely change how we connect on WhatsApp. We share that major breakthrough from the world's tech. Okay, so important. WhatsApp is testing major privacy updates that allows users to chat using unique usernames instead of phone numbers, protecting personal information and changing how people connect to the app. This feature, currently in beta, lets users create a custom handle visible in their profile while keeping their number private. It mirrors Instagram and Telegram approach, allowing messaging and group participation without revealing personal contact details. Screenshots show a new username section and early hints of a username reservation before the full rollout. WhatsApp is also deploying verification tools to prevent fake profiles and usernames coming on the platform. Once officially launched, this could change and redefine digital privacy on one of the world's largest messaging platforms, making a shift from numbers to identities. I think this should have happened years ago. Like, the fact that we still have phone numbers is crazy work. I think that phone numbers should be like obsolete. Why are we even calling on phone numbers? Like, it should just be on apps, and it should, like, more like long distance calling. Why is it even a thing? You know, there's every single app you can call on now. So from Snapchat, Instagram, whatever, blah, blah. So I like this, but you guys know how much I love technology. So I know some of you might not like it, but just giving you all the hint that in a few years from now, this whole number thing will be gone. Sound off below and let me know what you think. All right, another piece of technology. Timbaland debuts his AI-generated artist, and the internet has mixed feelings. Timbaland just introduced to the world his first ever AI-generated artist, Takum. The legendary producer himself dropped her debut music video, and social media can't decide if it's groundbreaking or taking away from real artistry. Okay, obviously, you know I can't play it for copyright reasons, but it's up on our Instagram page, The Trend Out Loud Show. I think the song is super dope. Like, the beat, I mean, it's Timbaland, so it's obviously going to be dope. But I don't know, the way how she's bouncing, flowing on it, like, I think it's dope. He's dubbing it as A-pop instead of like K-pop, which is that, you know, that Asian, Korean kind of pop that's out there, and, you know, dubbing a new genre of music. Now, I played for you guys, I don't know, sometime last month, a new artist that was actually on the charts, and I said that I liked it. I understand the hesitation behind it, but I always, what I try to remind you guys when it comes to this AI music stuff is there's still a human behind it. It's just the face is now an AI person. So the artist who I liked, I can't remember the name or whatever, the song or the artist, but it was a Black woman who was a songwriter. She wrote the songs, had AI help her write it, then had AI perform it, but she is the person behind the AI tool. And she is making money off of it. Now, it's the same thing with Timbaland. Timbaland's a producer. Now, typically, a producer or a songwriter would go out and find an artist and pay them to perform, and they'd be the face. But we have seen time and time and time again that artists, depending on the contract they sign, make little to no money, and they end up being broke. So it's no big difference than Timberland making music, writing music, and instead of going to get an artist and the artists end up, being on stage, being the face, and you never hear from them again, he now has the ability to just create his own artist, put it at front, and now that's all his work. I say this to give you an example of, y'all remember Jay Holiday? Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was The Dream who wrote that. Now, I'll tell you a little story behind that. That song was written for, if I'm not mistaken, Chris Brown. And then Chris Brown, he wanted to change it or do something, or he didn't want to pay for it. And Dream was like, yo, I'm telling you how good this song is. This is going to be a number one. And I don't even need you. I could just find anybody. He went and found Jay Holiday. I don't remember the name of the song. I think it's Bed or something like that. Whatever Jay Holiday's hit was. And he was like, yep, what? Boom. Jay Holiday gave him the song. It was number one. And where's Jay Holiday right now? So it's no different than that. I love it. As long as there's a person behind it and it's just not somebody in a keyboard and they're not even writing the music or doing anything, and it's just literally a computer pouring out. If there's a person behind it, I'm with it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, our fourth quick story. Darius, Eddie Winslow, McCray. I've been hearing online every day, all day, that his last name, everybody's pronouncing it wrong, so I'm not going to feel bad. I think it's McCray or McCray. McCray? I don't know. I'm sorry. Denied bail over Real Family Matters. All right, so Family Matters actor Darius McCray, better known as Eddie Winslow, has been extradited to Michigan amid felony charges. Prosecutors say he owes more than $75,000 in child support, with a total now substantially higher. The warrant involves his oldest son, who is now 18 years old and reportedly the beneficiary of a trust fund. Darius was denied bail after being arrested near a U.S.-Mexico border, as the judge ruled he was a flight risk due to missing prior Michigan court dates. So, by the way, I'm sorry for this. This happened yesterday and I didn't report it. Sorry. But apparently a few days ago, after he was caught, he went in front of the judge and was trying to defend himself. And he was a little bit confused and all over the place. I've heard now that the judge is no longer going to let him represent himself. He is now going to be given a legal aid lawyer, if I'm not mistaken. And he was denied bail until he could work everything out. Here is a quick clip. Take a look.
Clearly, Mr. McCray is not attending to his family matters. He has 2 daughters and 1 son, and this matters regarding 1 daughter who lives in Michigan.
The court is in receipt of a signed waiver of extradition to the state of Michigan, signed by the defendant, and the court finds a valid waiver of extradition to the state of Michigan, signs the waiver of extradition. As such, the defendant is remanded to the custody of the sheriff without bail.
All right, our fifth quick story. Young Miami confirms the artist that she hinted at stealing one of her songs is Tyla. All right, I wasn't going to post about this, but everybody kept talking about it, so I posted it and I decided to put it in the show. I just think it's a little bit ridiculous. So, is there a write-up? All right. Young Miami shook the timeline with a tweet saying, "This girl really ran off with my song, and I don't know how I feel about it. Mind you, I played the song for this girl." Fans were quick to assume she was talking about Tyla after connecting her messages to Tyla's new track, Chanel, which features the line, "Put me in Chanel." Young Miami later seemed to confirm the rumor when she reposted a fan's tweet saying Tyla's name, adding the caption, "Let's talk about it." Now social media is split. Some believe Tyla was simply inspired, while others think Young Miami has a point. In true internet fashion, memes and jokes have flooded Twitter, with fans saying Tyla and Carisha beefing now and called for the two to address the situation before it turns into a full-on clash. Oh my gosh. Of course, can't play both songs for you, but like, other than having the word Chanel, like, I think even inspired is a reach. It was, here's Young Miami's tweet. "This girl ran off with my song. I don't know how I feel about it. Blah, 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 blah." Another person said, Miami, that song took you forever to drop. And Young Mammy replied and says, it doesn't matter. It's my MFN song. Here is the post or the tweet that Young Mammy retweeted. You could see Tyla, the song, and she said, let's talk about it. So that was her confirmation. I don't know if y'all even really care. I don't, but if you do, let me know whose side you're on. And if you want to hear both songs, go to our Instagram page, The Trend Out Loud Show on Instagram. All right, our sixth quick story. It's a little sad, even though if you don't like him, but Mitch McConnell falls down while being asked about ICE from a reporter. Reports say GOP Senator Mitch McConnell tripped and fell in the Russell basement. I don't know what the Russell basement is. It's probably some government building. Russell basement shortly after a reporter asked, do you support ICE taking working people off the streets and doing harm to them? At this point, enough is enough. Congress shouldn't be a retirement home. And it is a time to implement term limits. I'm going to play the video for you, and we'll talk about it on the other side. Take a look.
My name is Stella. I want to ask, do you support ICE taking working people off the streets and killing them?
Now, we all know, like, what's behind this, right? They just don't want to give up a seat. If he steps down, there'll be an election, and his seat could go to a Democrat or an independent, whatever. Not an independent, but y'all know what I mean. You know, Mitch McConnell, I think, has fallen already this year, if I'm not mistaken. Last year, he like froze up at the podium and like couldn't speak for like 5 or 10 seconds. Did it say how old he was? I think he's 82. I saw somewhere. I saw that somewhere. Look, it's his life. If that's what he wants to do, if that's how he wants to live out his days, like if that is more important to him, you know, if this was one of my family members, somebody who I cared about, I'd be like, look, you've done what you could do for the country. You have spent enough time. Spend your last days at home, bro. Take it easy, man. Anyways, that's just my 2 cents. What y'all think in the comment section below. All right, our seventh quick story, Nas. Nas says that he is not interested in doing the Super Bowl. I don't blame him. Take a listen.
When is Nas doing a Super Bowl?
I wouldn't want to say I don't want to do a Super Bowl, but I don't. Why would I do that? Leave it to the professionals.
You know what? That's why everybody loves Nas, because he's not and has never been for the superstardom and the headlines and the whatever. Like any artist that you asked if they do the Super Bowl, it would be like, you know, the cat's meow. I think I just saw Jennifer Lopez on Howard Stern addressing her being on the Super Bowl and having to share her stage with Shakira. And it was about just, you know, Latinos on stage, et cetera, et cetera. But she even said like that was the highlight of her career. And she was happy to even have shared a stage, although she'd want it on her own. Now, getting back to Nas, this is who he is, you know, and I love this for him. More importantly, I also think that Nas knows that Nas' music is not really set up for Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like 14 minutes. I was listening to The Breakfast Club, and Laura LaRosa asked DJ Envy to put some tracks together to prove her point that he could pull it off. And I listened to it, and there were some tracks that I was like, okay, yeah, like One Mic, you know, Uchiwali, like, okay. But it's still like not what you expect from a Super Bowl halftime show. You know what I mean? Anyways, I stand by Nas, but I also want to know what you guys thought. This could actually be like question of the day or even social discussion. What do you think about Nas on the Super Bowl? All right, our eighth quick story, Lil Nas X. You like what I did right there? Nas to Lil Nas X. I'm so funny. Lil Nas X first public appearance since his arrest. I'll just throw, actually, there's nothing to throw to the clip. I'll just play it beside me. Lil Nas X, he's back on the street again with all his clothes on this time. Like, I don't know why this is such a big deal. We still don't know really what happened that night. We don't know what happened with the police, the charges. Was he under DRUG? Was it a publicity stunt? Was he just trying to promote his album? If this does go to trial or the surveillance tape ever comes out or whatever, and he has an album around the time, then I'm right. You know what I'm saying? But if this all plays out and he really needs to check himself into a place, he really needs to get help. This is really something that was an episode or an incident, and the rollout has nothing that he's selling. All right, I'll come back on here and say it was wrong. But until then, I think this is all set up for an album rollout. Just my 2 cents. All right, our 9th quick story. Laila Ali accuses Claressa Shields of using her name for attention and clout, shares receipts of her supporting Claressa over the years. Okay. Laila Ali continues to tease about whether she'll be making her return to the boxing ring. She took time to call out Claressa Shields and accuse her of using her name for attention and clout. Laila did break down their history and shared evidence of her supporting Claressa over the years until where they stand today. Okay. As of now, I haven't posted this on our Instagram page, and there's literally like 10 videos, and I wanted to post it up on the page. And now I'm not too sure if I want to. I have been told that the fight is going to happen. Now, I've been following this since the beginning, since Claressa called her out saying, hey, Laila Ali, you know, how much do you want? I want to fight you. You're the greatest, but I'm the GOAT. I'm the greatest of all times. You are greatest of your time. Let's put the argument to the side. Come out of retirement. I want to fight you. Now, y'all know how much I love women's sports, whether it be WNBA, boxing, etc., whatever, even golf. So I have been championing this the whole time. Now, last time we spoke about this, Claressa Shields said she came out and she got the $15 million that Laila Ali said that she wanted. Laila Ali said, don't talk to me unless you have the 15 mil. Claressa went out. She said, yo, I have it. Laila Ali hasn't answered if she'll accept or not. And she keeps on saying, I will on my own time. Now, when this first came out, I was like, another like back and forth. And she starts out by saying, I'm going to address it soon, but on my own time. Maybe I'll play that for you. But it's still not an answer. Anyways, I reached out to somebody who I know in Claressa's camp. And off the record, I should have put this in off the record behind the feed. There's potential of it happening. And this is hype for the fight. Let's just leave it at that. So now I'm a little bit more renewed and excited because male boxers do this all the time. You see Jake Paul doing this, Tank. So we see this. Floyd Money Mayweather, whatever, who it is, Tyson. So shame on me for being like, oh my gosh, is she going to answer or not? I'm more used to, okay, the fight is on and then you hear the back and forth. I just got a little bit like, oh my gosh, like Laila, just answer if you're going to take the fight or not. Like this is the third time. So we'll see if it happens. I hope it happens. I hope the next post is I'm going to take the fight. Like what's going on? If this is promo, like the whole point of promo is to get you excited, not to get you feeling like what's going on. Do you feel what I'm saying? Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, our 10th quick story. I always forget that after quick story number 5, I can't do hands anymore. Our 10th quick story. Karoline Leavitt claims that the Democratic's main body of voters is made up of Hamas, illegal aliens, and criminals. It's like I just said to you guys. The stuff that's coming out of the Republican Party, it's like it's not even fun anymore. Like it used to be fun to be like, yo, the Democrats are doing this, the Republicans are doing this. This is what I think. Like it's just what is this? Like, what, like, how did we get here, guys? It's crazy. Take a listen.
That the Democrat Party's main constituency are made up of Hamas, illegal aliens, and violent criminals.
This is unmotivating. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to comments of the day and social discussion. But before that, y'all know I have a very, very important question to ask you. Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Well, let me answer that question for you. Yes, they are if you are not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform. Go to my sponsor below, aura.com/trenoutloud to get your 14-day free trial to see if any of your data has already been exposed. If you've ever wondered how scammers get your cell phone number or why your inbox is filled with spam, here is why. There are companies called data brokers, and they sell your data. They do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars selling it to marketers, scammers, or even stalkers. They legally take your information that you use when you're buying things online, sell it, make billions of dollars, and then you have to worry about being scammed or taken advantage of. It is crazy. That is why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family, friends, and out louders. Aura takes care of the hard part for you, automatically removing all of your information off of these sites and keeping it off. Aura is an all-in-one digital security platform. You may already have a digital security tool, but not having Aura is like locking your front door and keeping your back door open. With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is ever found on the dark web. Real-time fraud alerts if your credit card or banking information is ever found on the dark web. You also get a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and they have US-based customer service 24/7 around the clock. Aura also offers a $5 million identity theft insurance package. In the event that anything does go wrong, you are protected, okay? Link below, just click on that, or the QR code right beside me. This is free for 14 days. For free, they will go and take your information offline. You don't even have to continue after that. Sign up. It's free. If you want, after 14 days, you can continue. But I would suggest you just take the 14 days and see what they can do for you. It is mind-blowing, the information, your information that is out there. It's nuts. Okay. I keep on forgetting about our own memberships. Also want to remind you to sign up for the Out Louder membership. With the Out Loud membership, you get loyalty badges, emojis, member-only live streams, member-only videos, early access to new videos, and member shoutouts. I also provide some vlogs behind the scenes, what I'm doing. I normally do 1 or 2 a week. So sign up for that, okay? Use the link below. Cheat code, if you're on an iPhone, do not use the join button. It's like $2 more a month. Use the link below. If you're on an Android or a desktop, it doesn't matter what you use. If you're on an iPhone, use the link below, okay? Also, when you get to the page, you'll see different levels like Out Loud Proud, Out Loud MVP. It is all the same access. It's just different levels, kind of like a tip menu. The first one gives you the same access as the second one. It's just depending on how much you want to give to the show and show your support. Also talking about that, YouTube wanted me to remind you, there's also a super thanks below. Somebody asked me, like, hey, can you give us a link or a PayPal link or whatever if we want to, show our appreciation for the show. And there is a button down below. I'm not sure exactly where it is, but there's some super thanks that is another way. Kind of like when I'm live, super chats, you can give super thanks, and I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Okay. Now let's go over to comments. Yesterday, I did a live comment and I enjoyed it very much. It's kind of like just off the cuff. I just literally just go to YouTube and I scroll down newest and then boom, whatever pops up. This way I'm not like picking and choosing. So the first one that literally popped up, you guys just see me do it here, is, so was she supposed to let them continue to her dressing room, swat her home? They did that 3 times, steal her money, call her crazy, say the most vile things about her family. Nicki may have said, oh, this is about Nicki Minaj. I was like, what are you talking about? Okay, Nicki may have said some things, but have you heard of her putting hands on anybody? She's not in and out of court. No record. Nobody said she cheated them when it comes to money. Nobody says she stole their songs, didn't sleep her way to the top. Her character has proven more stable than her oppressors. All of them been in the court system for shady conduct. How we got they back and not Nicki? People will really do anything. This is from Latricia Johnson 431. Thank you very much for that comment. And yes, I totally I don't want to say I totally agree with you because I gotta, for legal purposes or whatever. I see where you're coming from. How about that? Nicki for sure is off the cuff and she, does talk and sometimes gets herself in trouble. But I do agree with you with some of the things that you said that, the people who were talking about, have done some things. I'll just leave you at your comment. Okay. I'll get two other comments. Next comment said, I pray for Nicki. She is the queen of rap forever. And then last one here is, I'll read you two more. You're wrong. Candace did not lose a defamation case. And the reason Nicki had issues with Roc Nation is because when Jay created Tidal, they owed her millions of dollars. And it's not free speech in Australia. All right. That was stay low key. And then Star Lady said, well said, Trent, about how Mario should have apologized. Well said. Thank you very much. I'll just touch on the Mario thing. Mario put out an apology statement to a photographer or videographer, and I said it was horrible what he did to the videographer, and it was even worse what he did in his apology letter, and it was so unmanly of him. And I highlighted the fact from a mental health space that I could tell that he's letting his ego stand in the way. So thank you very much, Star Lady, for highlighting that. Okay. Let me just make sure I have all these pictures so I can put it up when I read the YouTube. Okay. I like that. I like the random comments. I love that. Okay. Now let's go to social discussion of the day. Paul disagrees with head. Okay, I can't put her name out there. Okay, this is just a bad picture, but I'll give you the description of what he said. Okay, I'm going to play a little clip for you. Paul Pierce answers the question from his co-host asking, should men be with... Oh, sorry, I remember. It was Corinne Steffens says that men should just marry or be with the HOEs that they like because they like the sex that they have with them. They like all the fun or whatever. And when they don't end up marrying them, they go with the girl who's more on the straight and narrow and they end up cheating. So why not just marry the HOE? So that's the social discussion. I'll play a little clip. Take a listen.
So Corinne Steffens, she has a clip that's going viral, and she said, marry the because they really want to be with whores, but instead they feel like they are supposed to be with like the good girl, the virgin.
I will tell you this. Men like that for just so long. Like when you look at the longevity of somebody, you want somebody that is more than that.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. Like, just because it's cool and you doing all these things that a man like, that don't mean that's gonna last forever. Like when it get down to like sitting around and really bringing some substance to the table and really bringing like some maturity, bringing like some value to the table.
Now, it's not often that I agree with Paul Pierce, but I do agree with him here. But I'll go further. I think everybody wants that, men and women. Like, okay, it's fun. Even though some girls, I'll be like, hey, I'm going with a guy for a one night stand. He might be the fun guy, but he's not going to give me anything else, right? I think most people would end up getting tired of that because that's just not everything. But don't take advice from me because I'm the single guy, but why can't you find somebody that has both? Why can't you find somebody that you have a great time with on a Friday night after a club and Monday comes around and y'all are both doing your thing and taking on the world together. Like, until I find that, I'll be single forever. I'm not going to be like with somebody who is only, let's say, like studious, or or from a business standpoint or from an ethical standpoint or family standpoint, be one way and be like, she's amazing, but she's super boring and we can't go and travel and have fun, or we can't hang out on the weekend, go have fun, or we can't go dancing and have fun, or we can't do whatever and have fun. No. And vice versa. I'm not going to be just with a girl who I just like having fun with and nothing else. Like, I think it's important to have both. And the people who choose one or the other end up in a divorce. I keep telling you guys that all the time. It's better to hold out and find the one, work hard for the one if you do find them, and make sure that you guys, stick together and fight for that relationship once you have it. But yeah, my advice is, I agree with him, but you can have both. You don't need to pick and choose. Find both or be single. But hey, I'm a single guy, and I've said to you guys a bunch of times that I'm lonely, so don't listen to me. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to question of the day. I don't know why I'm like opering every title today. I guess because it's Friday. It's Friday. Comments of the day. Question of the day. All right, Trent, focus. Your friend is in a toxic relationship. Do you step in or mind your business? Okay, I hate this question. To me, if it's your friend, you step in. It's simple. Unless it's like an acquaintance. If it's your friend, you have to be a friend. Like, there should be no answer to this. I don't get it. Toxic relationships deserve for one to mind their business, because as a friend, you want the best for them, but they are not going to leave until they are ready, no matter how hard you try to help. Okay. Next one says, mind your business because they will resent you the minute you speak on it. Next person, if you care, step in at least twice and have that chat. After that, they're going to learn the lesson. And if they don't, then whoop-de-doo. Exactly. I'm not saying like every day I got to be like badgering my friend, like, you need to leave. But hey, by the way, just want to highlight something. You might be missing this. This is this, that is that. You're so in love you can't see it, but that's not healthy, bro. Those are two big red flags. Okay. A couple of weeks go by. Hey, this is a third red flag. I ain't telling you no more. That's a friend. Hold on. Somebody says, I'm interactive. So if he or she involves me, then I'll give my input. If they keep me out, then I won't pry. I mean, it's your friend. So, okay. Another person said, mind your business. Trust me, mind your business. I'll give advice and stay in my lane. Remind them that they're better than their circumstances and mind your business. Love can blind somebody so badly that they will literally neglect themselves and turn on everybody around them who has their best interests at heart just to appease somebody who uses manipulation tactics to gain control over them. Life gotta be their teacher. I don't think that that's a real friend, personally. Can't help those who don't want to be helped. Give my thoughts one time and you're on your own after that. Well, at least there's some people that are at least willing to speak, but just my opinion. Again, I agree. Not every day doesn't mean you got to lose your friendship. Like those people who are like, yo, I'm no longer your friend anymore. That's not a real friend either. Unless it's like so bad that you can't stick around. Like seeing that person hurt is hurting you so much. Let's say like DV's involved, then I get it. But you know, let's say a guy's with a girl who's a little bit toxic, then bro, you give your thing, whatever. If he's in love, then cool. But you got to give your advice. To me, that's a real friend. I was going to tell you guys a story. I'll save it for another time. It's about my cousin and his girlfriend's sister. Like, how do I tell it without like, anyways, just in case somebody watches, I'm keeping it to myself. But I know of a story of somebody trying to let somebody know about something, and then after a couple months, they told them. And the person was very happy that she told him. And she was like, thank you. He was like, thank you for saving me. So sometimes you got to help somebody out. You got to help themselves and just throw the hammer and be like, this is happening. You're like, oh my gosh, you've been hinting it, but you told me. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I just said I wasn't going to tell you and then told you anyways. Let me know in the comment section below. All right, y'all, that is a wrap on today's show. I hope y'all enjoying your Friday. And my Thursday nighters, be excited when y'all wake up. It's Friday. I just love y'all now. It's Friday. Okay, enough. The show's already gone long enough. Before I let you go, just want to remind you what I want to remind you. Click the link below. Out Louder membership. It's fun over here. Come hang out with us. All right. Do not forget, if you're on an iPhone, don't use the join button. It's like $1 or $2 more. Any other thing, any other device you're on, go ahead and click anywhere. Safest bet, regardless of where you are, just use the link below. Also, anybody who's ever shopped even one time online, your information is floating in the web or on the web, and somebody could take it. Link below. It's the second link below. QR code beside me. Sign up for free. It's free. You ain't here to sell you nothing. It's free for 14 days. Just try it out. Be like, hey, I'm just trying this out because Trying Out Loud suggested I did. Okay. For those of you, just want to remind those of you the different ways to keep up with the show. For those who like to listen on podcast platforms, this show is available on all of them. Just go to any podcast site, type in Trying Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow or subscribe button so you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And we upload daily, 7 days a week. For those of you who are like me and like to watch your shows, you need video in your life. Head on over to YouTube, type in Trying Out Loud. 5 things I'm going to need you to do, very important. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, get the algorithming. Third thing is, please try to comment below. You guys are my co-hosts. I do the show with you. That's why I read the comments. If you guys are not answering some of my questions or joining in on conversations, I'm literally just here by myself, and that is really not cool, okay? For those of you who don't want to join in on a conversation, totally understandable. Please just comment the city and or country that you're watching from, because this is a global show, and I love, my favorite thing to see is whoever is watching from different parts of the world. Love that. Fourth thing, if you're really enjoying the show, please try to share it with your family, friends, and loved ones, because it helps them grow in the channel. And we are here to grow this channel and community. Lastly, like you've heard me say a couple times this show, use the first link below and sign up for the Out Loud membership. It's fun over here. We got exclusive content, exclusive badges. Y'all need to join and be the Out Louders. And also don't forget, you could send us some appreciation money. You want to buy me a coffee like some of y'all like doing, buy me a coffee, use the super thanks below, okay? For those of you who want to follow me outside of the show, I'm available on all social platforms, and it's also the same handle, Trent Out Loud. I'm the most active on Instagram. And speaking of Instagram, like I've said a couple times already, please try to follow us, the Trent Out Loud Show on Instagram. We post most of the stories throughout the day here. We'll come talk about it, put it in one beautiful show, like Donald Trump's Big Beautiful Bill. It's a big, beautiful show. We put it all together. But it's good to follow throughout the day, you know, some of the stories that we're going to touch on. And on YouTube, we cannot say certain words. There's certain videos we can't play for copyright reasons. On the Instagram page, we play everything for you in its entirety. So it's a good way to stay looped in and locked in to the show. All right. Do not forget, we are giving you guys shows throughout the weekend. So make sure you come back here tomorrow around the same time, and on Saturday, Sunday. We're here for you. All right. Keep it locked. I'll see you tomorrow. For those of you who may not be watching on the weekend and only come back on Monday, have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Take some time away and come back and catch up on the shows you missed over the weekend. All right. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trying Out Loud. Peace!